So there are times, so when someone is suicidal, so I guess you have to think which is more concerning for their health and welfare at the moment. Is it their substance use disorder or alcohol use disorder, which can be, cause tragic consequences, or is it their sort of acute mood state?
Why would someone want to combine TMS and ketamine therapies?
Right. So the positives of ketamine are that it's fast acting. And so if you have a patient or your person who is potentially suicidal and you need some type of fast acting thing, ketamine provides an opportunity for sort of fast relief of symptoms. But it's usually given about 2 to 3 times per week, once every week for a few weeks. And then there's sort of a maintenance phase. People will stay on ketamine because it appears that when you take people off of ketamine, they'll often slip back into depression. And it's presumably that happens with PTSD as well, although we don't know that as much. So when I talked earlier about going to the gym, and if you go to the gym and you work out enough for a few weeks, it takes a while for your muscles to show. But once your muscles are there, they're durable. And honestly, you don't really have to go back to the gym all the time and lift weights.
Yeah,
but
you're more like it's almost like getting in shape is harder than staying in shape.
Yeah, that's
so it's
right.
like you got to do the work,
Yeah.
and you got to put in a lot of work at the beginning. And then once you're in shape, it's just maintenance. You still got to go.
That's right.
But you're not having to work as hard. It's just much easier to maintain.
That's right. And so ketamine also carries this sort of risk with it associated with addiction. And so people that have a propensity to addiction, there needs to be a lot of care and concern put into it before they're a good candidate for ketamine. And we see in the news recently, Matthew Perry and all of these things. So ketamine is something we need to be concerned about. As you mentioned, sort of addiction is very close to my heart.
Right.
And so I like ketamine for some reason, but I'm very worried about the long-term effects of ketamine.
Yeah. And I've seen it. I mean, it's like, when is someone appropriate for ketamine? Someone that's newly recovering from addiction, someone that has the addictive tendencies, someone that has the addictive personality, someone that has the addictive gene, the alcoholic, the drug addict. Are they a good fit, or when are they a good fit, or how far away from their last drink or their last use do they need to be before they should even be considered for ketamine?
That's right. And that's all going to be, that's a risk benefit profile for each individual patient, of course. But yeah, something to think about.
Do you have any experience or any opinions on that?
I guess I would say that, so there are times, so when someone is suicidal, so I guess you have to think which is more concerning for their health and welfare at the moment. Is it their substance use disorder or alcohol use disorder, which can be, cause tragic consequences? Or is it their sort of acute mood state? So what I hear from providers is that people are willing to give ketamine in a controlled manner to people with substance use history.
To get a free copy of the 12-step guide that I created for you, click on the link in the description below.
If they're suicidal or if their depression at the moment is a larger risk for them than their substance use condition. However, if it's not, I think there's a lot of hesitance to giving ketamine to people that have a high propensity with or struggling with sort of addictive type behaviors.
Yeah. I mean, especially if they're just newly sober. I mean, if someone's a couple weeks sober, it's like, I just don't know. It's like, giving them a solution for their, it's like, is that the best solution? I don't know. I mean, I've seen ketamine work really well on a lot of people, but then I've also seen people go back into their addiction as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have my observation, it kind of, or my thought, my opinion, I don't know if this is true. It's almost like if someone's doing IM, for example, they're going to go so deep into into their, I don't know what you call it, you're deep into the ketamine experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that type of an experience might not be addictive. Where it might be a little more addictive is if someone's taking one of the troches, because someone can take one of the troches and, you know, go to a party, for example, and socialize. And because
sure.
I've heard it, you know, it makes people a little more social, or it could kind of like a couple of drinks. And so maybe taking troches might be a little more addictive than someone that's going to go deep into a ketamine experience. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Absolutely. I mean, we know that's true. You know, I think I don't actually feel that old, but I am old enough to remember when people were like robbing veterinary clinics to get ketamine, right? It was called Special K on the streets, and it was a big deal. Like ketamine is a highly addictive drug that people will try to, you know, diversion likelihood is high. The, you know, analogies to how we kind of got into the opiate situation are, you know, easy to make.
If you got value from this video, if you heard what you needed to hear, be sure to like it. Comment if you've got a question or you have something to say. Subscribe to the channel. Camelback Recovery provides treatment services for people struggling with mental health, mental illness, addiction, alcoholism, whatever it may be. So if you or a loved one is struggling and you need some guidance and you need some direction, reach out to us. Our contact information is down below, or you can go to our website, camelbackrecovery.com, whether it be detox, inpatient treatment, outpatient treatment, sober living, recovery coaching, sober companion services, whatever it may be. Like I said, we can either help you or make sure that you get sent in the right direction. We help people all over the country, all over the world for that matter. I'll see you on the next video.